Hi everybody, my name is Adrienn Light. Welcome here again. I'm an energy healer, a channeler, and I work as a medium in light body activations. We had a wonderful chat last week with Grace Love, where she shared with us her enlightenment story, and and today we just saw that we will continue these sharings about our lives after enlightenment. Please, Grace, share us a little bit with a few words who you are and what you are doing if somebody didn't follow us the last week.
Thank you. Thank you so much again for having me here. And my name is Grace Love. I, what can I say about myself? I just am. I love my life. I love where I am. I love connecting with other people in many different ways. Recently, I opened an energetic clinic called Kokoro Healing Collective, where there's few of us offering our gifts for self-healing. And yes, and then we spoke about our similar journeys up to that, what we call enlightenment or awakening, um, which which what I feel, and it's almost like a new life, you could say. It's totally changed everything, and yet at the same, it seems like it's all the same. It's coming back to the beginning, coming back to the same spot where we left. It's I'm so fascinated by it. It reminds me of the story of the alchemist. Paulo Coelho wrote the book. It's like this shepherd goes on a journey seeking for a treasure, and to then realize that it's already was there. It's always been here. It's not like we have to do anything. It's not like we have to seek it. We don't have to go and seek it. And as our experience showed us, it's really just surrendering and trusting, loving ourselves. Loving ourselves in such a way that we allow ourselves to surrender.
Yes, in my experience, we need to experience ourselves in a different form, in a different ways. Uh, then can later say that yes, everything was there and everything is just be. But you just need to
Yes.
get the focus out a bit to can say it and really not just saying it, really live it. Because before to get here with me, I just felt that yes, the spiritual people always repeating all the same same things, but I really couldn't feel it and live it. And when I could focus
Mm.
out a
I
bit,
think, yes. I feel it's like, after my experience, it was like, I want everyone to have this experience. And it doesn't have to be the same way. It's like, wow, this love that you feel, that you're so grander than what you believe you are. Like what you're saying, coming out and zooming out, looking at everything from a bigger perspective. And sometimes I know it's so hard. I know, we see things so close, like our family. There might be something happening in the family, something at work, something at school. And, I always say, like, just imagine yourself looking at yourself while being in the cosmos. And from that perspective, when you look, can you actually see yourself? And can you see this problem that you have? And what significance has it got on a bigger scale? And not taking away from what we're going through, because we all have these situations happening in our lives. But for that moment, to help yourself to really shift so fast, it just happens so fast if you allow it, just to step out of that bubble, if you may, and just look at it while when you're in this cosmos, in this space, and you can imagine yourself being in the space, being this vastness, and just looking, and you can't really see yourself from that perspective, which is so tiny. And it's not like we don't exist, but at the same time, all these little things that happen, they might be so big when we're so close. It was like, wow, it's so overwhelming, it's so big. But when we move out, what you're saying, it's like, on a bigger scale, wow, what a beautiful planet we're living on. Wow, what a beautiful sun that shines every day. I don't have to do anything for it to shine for me. I don't have to do anything for the day and night to happen. I don't have to do anything for the flower to offer its fragrance. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Grace.
Mm.
What
Oh,
happened?
thank you.
What happened? I last session I just got you when you shared your enlightened experience, but I'm curious what happened afterwards. You went home and what did you
Yes.
do?
Yes. So as I said, like the first moment, so there was like stages for me. And the first stage that I consciously was aware of and I noticed it just the moment after the experience was this feeling of uh, being like almost like um, put on this planet, and someone just like left me there among all these people, and I'm just like, who are these people? Where am I? And it was like this feeling of such a loneliness, but not in a loneliness because there was lots of people around. There was like thousands of people on the next day when we get back to the room. But in that moment, I remember that I felt like I was there by myself and I was just left there, like abandoned almost. And I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know why I was here. I was just seeing people jumping, talking, and I'm thinking, what is this? What? Where am I? What is this movie that I'm in? It was so different. It was like as if everything that I was seeing and experiencing was for the first time. It's it's literally felt like that. And as I mentioned about the Earth Angel, my friend who was helping me to go through that was amazing, truly amazing. I'm so grateful to her to be in that time, in that moment, to help me through that. And then once I got back home, lots and lots of things happened, and they continue to happen even now. And it's just more and more expansive each time that every moment that I am or I'm in it, let's say. But the first thing that happened, and I want to really share it here very vulnerably, I feel that finally 8 years after my experience, I can really share it without having any discomfort about it, because at the time I went back to my close ones, my family, my husband, and my son. And I remember the first time that I opened up and I shared my experience. And at the time, it was also my husband's parents there. So I felt really safe to share it. And I started sharing everything, every little detail, and I said about then my name that came through. I said about dissolvement experience, where I went, what I felt, everything. And I just thought everyone is going to be so excited for me. Everyone, I want to feel it and be there and experience it and share this happiness and this joy with me. And it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. Um, I was I was recommended to go and see a psychiatrist. It was literally like that. Like it was just shocked me. I said, you have to go and see someone. Like it's like something is wrong with you. And I was just like, I remember like for a few seconds, it was like, what's happening? I mean, I don't understand. And then I learned, okay, I felt this need of sharing only with the people who perhaps are ready for to hear it, and also with those who ask questions, because you could notice the difference in me, and many people noticed that difference. Things changed, and even me perceiving things, like when I was operating in this body, it was like all the objects were kind of alive. They were moving. They were like kind of like liquid. They didn't have a solid form. So it was very interesting how it was happening for me while I was walking to work. And I used to run organic cafe in a city here where I am. And it was very short distance. It was like 3-5 minutes to go to work. And I remember all these adventures on the way. It's like I'm seeing buildings bending and moving, and I'm just like, the ground is not kind of like solid, and I'm thinking like, okay, what's going on here? And I'm watching it like for the first time, very curious what's going on. And and I'm thinking, am I having some kind of hallucinations? Or I've heard of these like from people taking some medications or drugs, but I didn't take anything. For me it was like this new experience, almost like I wanted to touch, was touching objects to just make sure they're real.
I had
That
the
kind of
same.
experience.
Yeah, I had the same with the family
Yes,
what you
yes.
mentioned. I knew and I felt that I cannot share my experience either with my family who are spiritually opened. They couldn't understand and they couldn't receive it. So I had the same problem, some kind of like you. And then I learned that keep it to myself. And it happened with me in 2016, and so I didn't speak about all these things what happens with me, just live, just experience it. And then in 2018, through several meditations came the push that you need to go to
Yes.
internet and speak about it and share your experience. And yes, I had the same also, that I remember that I went to a hairdresser and I just seeing all the buildings and everything, like in a, I just like energy form. I saw that it is not liquid, but it's like a, I saw everything in it's like in a matrix. It's everything is like paper
Right.
and it's an illusion and it's moving and it's just the frequency moving there. So I cannot touch it. It's not a solid. It's just an energy, and I'm experiencing it still a lot of time. This. Yeah, keep it sharing. Just I
Yes.
just wanted to prove
Yeah,
that
that's right. Well,
everything
I'm
is like this.
curious of you because it's validating is as well for me because as I said, it's the first time I'm really sharing it publicly and I feel safe enough now going through many different experiences the last 8 years to be able to talk about it really comfortably and
Yeah,
without any fear, any discomfort, and knowing that those who are meant to watch this video with us are going to be the ones who are ready to hear it and learn more about that. And also, even through watching and listening, also tap into that energy so they can get that activation at one point as well. And
yeah,
I think it's really important to share that because I have had some experiences with other people who express the intention of having this experience, and it almost was like that we can do it with our eyes to allow the person to activate it, and then they have an experience maybe a day after or a month after. So it's truly unbelievably magical. It's just a matter of us and others surrendering to it and really not wanting it, but having the intention and surrendering to it, surrendering and trusting that it will happen in the time when it's meant to happen. We don't have to seek it, we don't have to look for it because I wasn't looking for it as such. It just suddenly happened, and I believe I have this knowing that it happened in the right time, in the right moment. Everything was aligned just how it was meant to be. So yeah, so thank you so much also for sharing your experiences with this energy and frequencies, because I had so many different things happening, and at that time, and I feel like many people have these experiences now more and more. And it's kind of like we feel, or I imagine this is how I felt, like we feel alone. Like, who do we talk to? Like I said, I wanted to talk to Dalai Lama. I couldn't think who else could understand it. I didn't have anyone around me who I could talk about it so openly. And then yet I also noticed that those people who wanted to hear more and were interested, these were usually the people who asked the questions. And it was something be to prompt it, um, to also for me to know, wow, this person is ready. Let's share a little bit more today, and let's see what else is there. And also it gave me the permission to share it when I felt comfortable as well to start talking about it. It took long time.
yes.
And
One
I
time
guess,
it takes one time it takes to for me also a long time to speak about it. But otherwise, what you are saying that your family members also suggested you to go as a psychiatrist, but inside I felt, and maybe for you also, that I'm on the right way and I'm supported. So I didn't have a second when I felt myself lost, or I felt that I'm not on my path, or it's something wrong with me. I was 100% in calm and relaxed because I just
yeah,
felt all that support and love
yes,
through my process.
yes, but that love came from within and from the experience, knowing, right, that we are supported, we are loved. So for me, when I heard it, it wasn't like I was just trying to think and feel it. It's not like I was lonely in a way of my own loneliness. It just, I didn't feel these people who were close to me right now or right then. When I spoke about it, it actually, I felt like it might have hurt them instead of it's probably too much for them. I would just, because I wanted to share it and give all that love and transfer it, it was like, wow, I'm kind of not ready for it yet. And so it's like you go back to what you know, and these people always act from deep care, and I know they just wanted the best for me. It's not like, whatever was going on for them, it's like I know that they wanted the best, so they were using the tools that they knew at that time that could potentially help me in their eyes, in their feeling, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I also had these other people who, like, because I was trusting as well, I knew exactly what happened. It was like I didn't know why it happened. I didn't feel I deserved it. Like, when it was happening, and I'm thinking, why me? Why, I'm not kind of any special. And even when I'm saying, it's like, why didn't I feel special? So there was obviously some things to uncover for me as a person, and then sharing it with others. And so, when I was walking to work, and when I noticed this frequency, it was almost like two different dimensions were kind of, um, what do you call it, like, happening at the same time. So I could see the buildings, and I could see them kind of not real, and it's like, they're both happening at the same time. And some just say, where am I both? Am I one? So I was aware of me not feeling really grounded. So even when I was walking, it felt like I was floating. I felt so light. And I had, a friend who was doing a lot of meditation work at the time. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll ask him, because I wasn't meditating at that time. As I said, I wasn't doing any practices. And so it was everything very new. Despite of me knowing and feeling love for everyone else, those practices were not, something that I was doing regularly. So I remember reaching out to him and said, when someone is ungrounded, like feeling like they kind of not here, what do you do? And then so he said, why don't you try some, greens, like put it in a green smoothie, or having some cooked meal. And I thought, okay, I wasn't kind of, because I was on the water and fruits at the time. I thought, maybe I'll just try with a smoothie. And then so slowly was introducing, let's say, heavier or more denser foods to me, so I could feel like I can operate at the time in a way, the balanced way, so I don't feel kind of spaced out, because I was running a business, and I
I
still
had
had
the same.
responsibilities, you know.
I had the same. Yeah.
So I had to. So I just felt like, in one hand, I didn't want to go kind of backwards, because on that, the dietary options. But at the same time, I felt, I know it's temporary. I just want to get better, like feel better, to cope with all of this love and all of this whatever happened to me, and just allow it, and just really honor my body and honor myself and my journey. And I just trusted it. And that's what I was doing. And so I started eating more, as I said, cooked foods, and I found that really, really helping me. And you said you had the same thing. Tell me about, how was it for you?
Yeah, I had the same. I felt I'm not. I know I didn't feel myself grounding here, which at the moment when I was experiencing this, I didn't know that it's happening because I'm not grounding. I was just felt like in a movie, just seeing everything what's happening.
Yes.
And also when I had a conversation with other humans here, I just felt myself that I cannot be there, and I just connected with them in another way, and they was just speaking to me like this, the physical way, and I cannot hear them and I cannot answer them because I was connected with them in another way, and I was just there seeing them, and they are waiting to the answer, and I just huh? I was in my things.
Yeah.
And I also, when
Yes.
I was driving, when I was walking, I could see the things how they are, not the solid form. And later, I as I started to eat some cooked food, I just felt myself, okay, now I can be here and I can function a little bit like others.
Yes.
And
It's like
later,
finding that connection, right?
yeah, later I understood what happened, that really I couldn't grant myself. And when I started to eat, it just pulled me down, and I could be uh, some way in this dimension, in this frequency. I'm just saying in some way because after this experience, I'm not the same, so I cannot be here
That's
100%
right.
anymore. I always have the
Yes.
connection, but I have a mask or part of me who can behave the same way like others.
Yes. Yeah, I hear you totally. I
Yeah.
hear you. And with interactions, I remember, recall this one experience I had when I was in the restaurant, and you know how you were connected in a different way. It's exactly what happened with me. So what I felt is when people were walking through the door of the cafe, and I didn't see them as, like in the normally, like in the past I would see people just physical. You see the physical, and you kind of know their name or whatever. And now it's like this form wasn't even there. Like I could see it, but what I saw was like everyone was walking, and there was like this desperation for love. It was like I just want this love. And it was like coming, and it was so amazing how it all was unfolding. Because I remember like uh, the whole idea of the cafe that I was running, and when I was cooking meals, was like I was putting the intention of love always to the food. And my intention was always to for them to have that food, to nourish them with the love, and then they can take that love and spread it to others. So it's not like they nourish themselves only, they help everyone else that they meet on the way after. So for me, the food that I was serving was just like, it's like you you wrap air in a nice wrapper. So it's like it's really air, it's love there, but we put it in a nice form. Oh, it looks like a nice vegan burger, or it looks like nice raw salad, or it's a beautiful green smoothie, but it's so much more in there. So it doesn't really matter whether people see it or not. I know that they must have felt it, because when they were coming, it was like this desperate, and it also this energy. It felt like they were almost on their knees coming and just begging for love. And it was like, for me, it was like so mind blowing, and I was like, wow. It's something new. I didn't feel that kind of interaction with others. So I was tapping into these different parts of us that I also had and I recognized, and was able to connect with those parts. So you know how it's like the conversation that we talk with people, it doesn't really matter what it is, it's what's behind it. What's like, how are you maybe saying it, or um what you put into that. Like when you feel someone, it might be, we can even talk about the weather, but just the way you talk about it, and then you're there for the person, what you knowing this energetically, what they actually may want or need from you, not even consciously knowing it themselves. It's like, here, it's here, it's for you, take as much as you like. I've got so much of it, it's everywhere, it's so, yeah, so experiences are just like, it they keep happening. And Adrienne, it's like, it's almost like sometimes I feel, because I said I just wish for everyone to have this experience. And it took me a while as well to find that acceptance in myself, to just know that everyone has experiences that they need at the right time and the right moment. I can't force people to have this experience. I can't, like, make it for them. Everyone puts the intention for it themselves, and it just happens when it happens, when it's the right moment. And just connecting with others when you feel like you deserve it, or if you feel like you don't deserve it, just love that part that doesn't feel like they deserve, you know because it's already there. It's here, it's everywhere. We are that, you know
Yes. And also
so
happens with me that
yes.
I can connect with other person the way how we spoke before. That some lots of time when I'm speaking with someone, I start to crying because I connect with the true spirit of the person, and I'm crying because of the beautiness of this person. And
Yes.
in the physical form, they just don't understand what I'm doing and why I'm crying. And I'm saying, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and they just seeing me what?
Yes.
Also, yes, it's happening with me.
Yes, I had this incredible experience of gratitude.
Yeah,
What you're saying about it happens all the time, just constantly, with people, with situations, just or looking at nature, whatever it is. And I
yeah,
remember I had this another, it's like, this enlightenment experience is just the beginning of it. It shifts things, but then you just goes these other layers, and it just like unfolds like a lotus flower. It's like, and more and more and more, and see more, and another petal and another petal. And I remember it was so hilarious because it happened in the toilet, and I'm sitting in the toilet, and looking at the photos that I have in there. And in that moment, it was like this expansive understanding of intertwined, of all people interconnected. It was like this tapestry of everything and everyone interconnected. And suddenly I just have this beautiful gratitude and love pouring through me more and more. And I'm just starting crying, and then I'm just like, you know, I'm just like hyperventilating almost. And then my partner is just like, "What's happening? What's happening? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, yes, it's so beautiful," And it's like, oh my god, and it's just so hilarious because it's like in an unexpected place, unexpectedly, just out of the blue. And it's like, wow, yeah, bring me more. I love it, I love it.
I had the
So
same
I keep,
experience on the beach. I was showering my daughter, from the sand, just showering. And then we sat on the bench and just dried her. And immediately I connected with all beings. And I just felt all this love and gratitude, which is connect every beings. And the same happened with me. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I love these. I love these. It's just little gems, because in the past they would still happen for me, but it was in a different quality. It's like now it comes through the heart, and it's just like, whew. And then before it will be just the awareness of the mind, while now it's like all of it, like it's
Yeah.
like explosions of it. So
And what
yes,
happened
but I wanted to
afterwards?
tell you also, yes. So
You had
what
a
happened
coffee
also,
shop?
like,
Yeah, you had a
sorry.
coffee shop, and then you had one son. But as I know that you have a daughter also, no?
Yes, yes. So after the experience, so this is what's been happening while we're talking about it. Um, I had my son connected with me 3 years before he was conceived. And then when he was around 3 years old, when after my experience, so let me think. So 2011, yes. So that was about 3 years after, maybe 2.5. He was playing with toys and talking like to himself, and the conversation kind of indicated he was talking to someone else. So you know how people say, oh, kids have got imaginary friends or whatever. So I asked him, who are you talking to? And he said, my sister Sarah. And I said, oh, okay, great. And this was such a wonderful validation for me, because just maybe a month or 2 months beforehand, she connected with me, and I was just like, oh, is it happening or is it not? It's like, okay. And so it was validation that yes, she's ready, she wants to come. And also what happened was like, I was wondering, okay, so when is she coming, what's happening? And because with my ex-husband, things were kind of drifting slowly, and I'm thinking, how is she gonna come? Like, are we kind of drifting away? And I kind of was doubting at that time. I said, oh, maybe it won't happen, maybe I'm just imagining it. It's, sometimes those doubting moments happen when we feel it's right, it feels everything is like exactly how it's meant to. And the messages are very clear, because I also ask for the universe for a particular message and particular symbol to receive if it's true. And then I got it 3 times, validating that. So I know, now these days I trust myself so beautifully that I don't have any doubts that much. So I remember that this time was, okay, she's coming, it's beautiful. And then I had her at home, and it was such a different pregnancy as well, because I know you're a mom too, you had your two little sweethearts. And I remember with Samuel, it was very, very long, and it was my first pregnancy. I didn't know kind of what am I doing, how it was supposed to be, and I had him at home as well. And during the labor, I had for 30 minutes, I had what people call orgasm, or like this ecstatic birth. It was just lasted and lasted and lasted, and I was like, wow, what's happening here? It was amazing, amazing. I truly wish for every woman to have that. And with Sarah, though, it was different. It was very short, and because I was so in it and I felt her, we were actually doing it together. It was like I was communicating with her and consciously giving this birth. It's mind blowing. Every time I think about it, and I recall, and even Samuel was there at the birth, and he was participating in this as well, and watching his sister being born. And it was like we both put the intention, and I could feel it with her. She says like, it's time now, and I'm thinking it's time now, and we're doing it together, and then just boop, she was out there. And I love, I love my labor experiences because I feel they were intense, but they were not painful. There was no pain as such in them. I felt it was like this intense experience of miracle creation. It's just like, it's I mean, you
Yeah.
know, so I feel so much for many women who haven't had perhaps those experiences. And you know um I just want to send love to them and to those children who were born maybe in those situations when there was some kind of suffering happening around the birth. All I want to say is like, everyone is loved, everyone is perfect, everyone is just the way we're meant to be. And if there is any part of us that perhaps we would like to improve or would like it to be different, we can change that ourselves. We're so powerful. We've got this amazing mechanism, not just within us, but everywhere, because we're not just in the body. And when a lot of people say we're in the body, I feel like the body is in me and not I am in the body. It's like we are all this huge, unlimited, expansive consciousness. And then a particle of me goes, okay, this body is attached here to me. This body is attached to me. It's like these different aspects of myself are just having this wonderful experience here on this planet.
And you close to the I don't want to enter that much to the pregnancy and child, because I want to do another
Yes,
session where we just speaks about this and then sharing the
that,
motherhood,
yes.
like in our way. But I want to stay with the alignment process after.
Alignment, yes.
So I guess you closed the coffee shop and you started to dedicate yourself for you are doing quantum healing. How did you
Yes,
start
but
all these things?
Adrienne, I feel like the cafe was part of my journey of assisting others as well. And we could go through many, many different experiences with customers who were coming to the cafe. And some of even the staff who were working there, they were coming in groups and healing groups and then leaving in groups. Much to talk about. But what I really wanted to talk about as part of the post enlightenment is this. I had this will or drive to find out what exactly happened to me, why it happened. And it almost was this part of me wanted to kind of tap into this. I want to go back there again. I want to experience this. I want to know how to get back in there. And I did so much research, so much study about it. Like I volunteered for the International Academy of Consciousness. I did a lot of workshops, which I'm so grateful for Nico, who introduced that work to me. And so I even went to Portugal later on, and I did some research in the labs. So many experiences there. But one experience that really shifted things for me was when I did Vipassana for 10 days. And that was a silence meditation. But, Silence was the least of the challenge for what was going on in there. And I remember that was in the last but one day. It was a day 9 before the last day when we started actually talking. So don't know if you know much about Vipassana. There's a particular technique that you do. You scan the body. So I remember on that day 9, it was like the door opened and I could just go into that space again, becoming one with everything. And in that moment, when I saw this door opening, it was like, wow, I don't have to do much. It's there. It was like a validation. It's here. I don't actually need to go there anymore. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to seek. I don't need to, I don't need to do. It's not like an action. And it was this another shift for me, just like, wow, okay. Everything is just beautiful.
What happened with me
And
at when I had the enlightenment? My child had 2 years, and I was a kind of mother, and I think still that I want to be with my kids all the time. And so I knew that I could do my meditation process like 1 week. I dedicated that time to myself, that I will do a meditation during the day, and I will do fast. And then when happened this alignment with me, but later I couldn't allow myself to again do more retreats or more just quit myself from my life. And first I was so pissed off that I'm a mother and I want to go retreats and I want to just meditate and be alone, but I cannot do it. And then later it just switched, and I started to experience and realize this experience during being with my child, during doing the shopping, during living my normal life. And I could be on the same state when before I needed to a meditation or stuff like this. But now it's
yes,
changed. And yes, I really realized that I think this is why happened like this with me, to show me and being the living proof that you don't need to go to the Himalaya and meditating 20 hours like this. And having an alignment there, it's such easy thing, but which is more difficult when you are here in the normal life. You are working, you have kids, you need to take the household, and you are a wife and everything, and get there the alignment and experiencing it while you are driving and taking the kids with the rush to the school. uh,
yes.
you can be the paradise, and you can experience these vibrations and this state there also. It's not depending where you are.
That's so true. That's so true. And I feel like if we were sharing it or with others how to be in that space, because it's not like you have to do anything, you just have to be.
Yeah,
And it's like you stop and you notice these things, and you notice the wind blowing through the hair, you notice your child smiling, you notice your child saying or seeing. It's like you becoming the it's like you even can, like with me, what happened, like in a moment you shift, like you're coming almost to their body, and then you know what it's like, and it's like you are them and you are yourself and you everything. and all it needs to take is just to stop,
Yeah.
It's exactly that. Yes.
And what
And
happened
for
for you
me, it
after the
was,
Vipassana?
yes, so for after the Vipassana, so on the 10th day when we started talking, I remember saying, like, I don't have the need for talk. I don't have the need for doing anything. It's like, that's exactly what it was like. What you're saying. Everything was meditation, you know? Just the same, like when we're talking now, we in this present moment and we are in that space. We are that, you know?
Yeah.
We like, it's like you talking to yourself and I'm talking to myself,
Yeah.
Isn't it just great? How clever are we to create all of this?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's like, how can you not love this existence? How can you not love to talk to someone? How can you not love having this body? I what I've realized, and I was sharing it, I don't know, maybe a year ago with other people. It's like this place that we here, what others consider separation, this planet Earth, seeing ourselves as a separate thing. I'm looking at you, Adrienne, and so I'm seeing you, but so I feel like I see that there's someone different, someone separate from me. But this planet, this plane, is so underestimated. It's like it's a gateway, It's like that's it. That's the oneness. The separation is oneness, you know. And and I know that sometimes it might be hard to comprehend, and it's okay. It's okay because that's how we, you know, gonna surrender, and may trigger some people watching it and hearing it. How can be oneness, separation? Or maybe some of you are going through depression, let's say, or something is not happening right, or it's like what we were talking before. Zoom out and see. It's like I'll ask a question. Why did you choose this for yourself? Because there's, what is it teaching me? What something I can be grateful for from that experience? What is it that I want to take from it? Because there's always something to be grateful for. There's always a sparkle of light in every situation. It's just a matter
Everything
of
is for
us
support us and
seeing it.
take us to our light and our love. Everything what's happening.
Yes.
And we need this experience exactly to take us more closer to ourselves, to our light, to our love. And that's why we needed to experience everything what's happening. And even if it's a very dense, very bad feeling, you need it to experience it to get there.
Yes. Yes. I run this group. I called it Trauma or Spiritual Awakening. It's like the trauma is the gateway for that awakening,
Yeah.
because trauma doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. And when we shift this perception, it's like, wow, it's like everything shifts. Everything shifts.
Exactly. For me, the separation, what I can understand and explain it very good for our body, for example, this body is me. I'm saying it's me, but I have eyes, I have nose, I have teeth, all different parts, and every part of myself is unique. And but I'm saying that it's me. So it's a kind of like this with the different beings. You are me, and I am me. Everybody is one. Everything is one.
Yes. Yes. And it's so wonderful if we really want to experience what it's like to be God. or universe or this cosmic consciousness. It's this beautiful exercise that we can do. And I believe Julia Cannon shared that with us during our training. It's like, let's imagine that something you would want to change in your body or in your life, and you're saying you basically becoming God. You imagine that you're God, and you're speaking to your body as if you were God. So you're saying, hello, body. Hello, all the cells of my body. Hello, eyes. Oh, hello, nose. Hello, my hair. Hello, you introduce like and greet every part of you and you say, this is your God speaking. Okay. Thank you so much for working so hard. You're doing such an amazing job. You're so wonderful. I love you so much. I love every single part of you. I love you and I love you and I love you and I love you. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And you've been doing wonderful task, doing everything like you were giving all your best. And today's the day we have a new task. And I'm so happy to be here and that you're here for me. And let's do this together. Let's do this together. And our new task is like, and then whatever task it is that we want to for the body to happen. Let's say something is happening in our shoulder, or maybe we want to lose some weight. So we want to, so our task will be, okay, we want to look this way, or we want to have a beautiful relationship with this person, or we want to heal, whatever it is. So we're focusing on the outcome, not on what's now, but what we want to achieve. And we're saying, and this is our task, and we're going to work on this together. And I'm here to support you every single step. And it's okay. There might be moments when, you will, maybe you think you failed, or maybe you think, oh, you have to catch up, you falling a little bit behind. It's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm here for you, and you're doing all the best you can. And we are doing this together. And maybe if you want to put like a timeline for it, deadline, but it's not necessary, because it's good sometimes to allow it to just unfold in the right time, in the right moment for you. And when the cells know that they're so loved, oh, they're going to do anything for you. Anything. They're going to work better, because this body, it's not like we say it's, if we really feel you are separate, we feel the separation. No, and also apply this separation to every cell. Okay, so this hand is separate, this leg, so okay, it's leg, not the hand. This shoulder is separate. All the cells inside of the shoulder are separate. So if they are separate, let's treat them separately too. I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you too. We all love it all in the same way, no favoring one part or the other. And through this, just I'm saying now to everyone who's going to be watching it, see how things start to shift, because they will shift, and they will shift in a way that you can't even comprehend right now. But all you need to do is to be and allow and imagine being God and talking to yourself and to those separate cells of you with love and with compassion, just like you would want to be talked to when maybe you feel that you're not supported, or you feel like you don't know what else to do, how to move forward with whatever it is that's happening in our lives.
Yes. Uh, One thing what I wanted to share that it's a bit little bit connected with this topic, because I just received this message some way how you are saying now that Just
Yes.
imagine that you are God. And I just understood that lots of people are saying that you need to have gratitude for everything what you have in life. And for example, you wanted a new car, and when you manifest this new car and you get this new car, you just feeling, oh, thank you so much, and you just feel gratitude. But actually what I felt before, that I'm here, Adrienne, and here is God or universe or something, and I got the car from this, from the universe, like a present, because I behaved myself good, so I need to feel gratitude. But then later, I realized that in experience that everything is one and I am God. And I'm feeling this gratitude and this love, but I'm feeling the way, for example, to understand it, when I connect to a child or a newborn, I just feel the love of coming from this being, and it's just so beautiful. And I'm so grateful to feeling this love, to feeling this. I don't know how to explain it. And then,
Yes. You're
yeah,
grateful. You say you're grateful to yourself, right? For being
yeah.
able
Just, but
to
not
experience.
grateful that, oh, thank you to give me this and that, and thank you for having this or that.
Yes.
I'm just feeling this love and this gratitude, but in another way.
Yes.
I don't know if you
Yes.
have the
It's like,
same.
yes, I have it. It's like, and I don't want to say I have it. It's the experience. It's like, because Adrian, you know that we're not separate, right? We are separate and we're not separate.
Yeah,
So in a way, like when we talk about this car, it's like you created this car for yourself. You
exactly,
brought it.
exactly.
So this gratitude is not like to a separate being either. Oh dear God, thank you for bringing this for me.
Yeah,
I know that it's it's a lot about that, but at the same time what you're saying is like, once you know that you have created it for yourself, and then feeling the, not the gratitude for something that happened to you, is just for being able to create it yourself. It's like, wow, because you notice, I noticed that, I noticed these beautiful colors. I notice it's like with this pranic journey too, when we have like, we can get nourished by just looking at the green color or something. It's like you getting nourished by the conversation we have. We're getting nourished just by thinking about being nourished. It's like, it's so beyond.
but you don't
And
need
it's
to
not
have
like
been
it's
nourished because you're
separate.
already nourished. So this is the thing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's not like you need anything external
Yeah,
and you have to thank something external. It's like you are the gratitude. You are it. So when you become it, then these other things unfold, like, the pranic journey. Because for me, pranic journey is like a consequence of the life and how we live, and not that we want to be pranic to be happy, like, oh, then I'm gonna be happy, or then I'll be happy, or when I do this degree, when I have this car, then I'm gonna be happy. No, the car is gonna come when you're happy. you know because
exactly.
you are the happiness itself, and you are the car. So the car is gonna come because it's part of you at this moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So it's like that. It's love everywhere.
We have a few minutes, and I wanted to ask you that you received gifts after this, and your life
Adrian, something was breaking. Could you tell me? Could you repeat it? What were you talking about? The gift? Yes, it's frozen.
Grace, are
Okay.
you here?
Okay, you back now. Okay, so I didn't hear anything. Something you were talking about the gift.
Yeah, we have a few minutes more, but in few words, I just wanted to ask you that did you receive? You mentioned that you received some gifts after the awakening, and your life changed in some ways. If you can share with us.
Okay, so it's probably for another time to go deep into other things, but I feel like it's not like I received the gift. It's like I'm aware of myself in a more expansive way. So, like with this car you're talking about. So maybe this car wasn't like was there and I didn't see it, and now I can see it. It's part of me here. So with my experiences, it would be like, let's say, manifesting things. Oh, I'm thinking or desiring or putting an intention about something, and then it literally happens. It could be in a day, for
Yeah,
instance, like that. It's very fast. Another thing would be like connecting with others and energies. And this may sound a little bit scary for some, but being able to perceive people's thoughts and feelings, it's a biggie. And it's nothing to be scared of, because if you have nothing to hide, you know that you're loved and you're not going to be judged. There's no secrets, there's no secrecy in the universe. We all part of one. And even if there are some thoughts that someone may, you as the watching person is, if you feel that there's something there that perhaps you feel is not as loving or as compassionate, it's okay. It's perfect. You loved, no matter what the thoughts are, no matter your experiences, no matter what you've done in the past. Now is the time to be aware of yourself. Now is the time to go within the body. Let's use this body. There's a lot of modalities now. We can, mindfulness, meditation. When we're really aware, all we need to do is just be perceiving it. So the more that's been happening with me, the more I can perceive. So for instance, another thing, like I used to see auras, like the white light around people. Now I see colors of it. So I'm able to perceive it will be blue or greenish in a very gentle pastel colors. So things like that. And what else? Could be also like recently I had this experience when I was able to see the energy body of the person, actually leaving the person and kind of traveling next to it and then coming back, and not detaching, but just almost like living separately from it, like independently. So that was very fascinating. Also, another things like during the daytime, I could see someone shape shifting to a different species. So I could see, like, let's say the blue scales. There's some kind of a lizardy being or something like that. And I remember the first time when I saw it, I was freaking out. I was like, what's going on here? But it's just tapping in, it's getting comfortable with that as well. Seeing things that others people can't see, or hearing things that other people can't hear. And then also sometimes seeing and hearing these things when others do hear them too. And then they can validate those for you. So things like that. But I think the biggest gift, if you may, talking about this, is just this knowing that we are one, and not having fear of dying or death. I know actually the death of me, of this an aspect of me, when it's going to happen. I feel so happy and excited about this too. It's not scaring me, and I want to share it with others too. There's nothing to be scared of. I had experiences out of my body too, being in presence of other beings. it's all beautiful, you know. It's so having that no fear, that in the past might have been driven me more. Now it's like you just kind of like, you know, we had that rainbow body meditation activation. It's like this light coming through this rainbow, around me and within me. It's all the time. And the most interesting things that I didn't know that others couldn't see, on I know that my daughter can see it. It was like, wow, look at the horizons. Every night the horizon is like a rainbow on the horizon. So not rainbow like in the sky, but the actual horizon is the rainbow. And I'm thinking, wow, look at this rainbow. And my partner said, what rainbow? What do you see? And so, you know, I said, look, 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 look. So I remember when I first being aware of it, I said, look, this rainbow all around, everywhere, you know, on the horizon. I said, I can't see any rainbow. I just see like pink. And I said, no, no, so it's all colors of the rainbow. And I said, Sarah, can you see it? And she says, yes, ma'am, it's rainbow. It's beautiful. And I said, yes, I can see it. I said, are you sure you can't see it? I said, I can't see it. I don't know what you 2 years have taken, but I can't see anything. And I said, oh God, it's like every day you can see it. And this, to be able to perceive these things and discovering these new things, new opportunities, those new gifts, as you call it, it's just like amazing, you know. That's why it's like, why don't you want to be here? It's because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what a wonderful person you may meet tomorrow and what message they may bring for you, what message you can bring for them. You don't know that. We just don't know.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Grace, for all the sharings and all the light, what you spread here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And see you next week.
See you next week, and it will be wonderful to tap into some other experiences and sharings. And I want to hear more also about your experiences, if you had any with extraterrestrials. I think that's something really might be interesting for others to see, so we can, as a collective consciousness, stop fearing that as well, those interactions, because these extraterrestrials are here everywhere, you know, they're among us.
I don't see them. I just get information. Uh, I I got information from them, but now I'm working more like with this God energy. So any
Yes.
information what I'm receiving from there, um, and what I'm now nowadays I'm feeling more than seeing.
Yes.
I'm feeling the energies. I know exactly when, we can say it, when it's Adrienne and when I'm working as a hand of God, let's say like this. But at the end, it's this Adrienne. It's the same, which I shared before. But
Yes.
but as I know me, I know if which it's if one idea or one information is coming from my mind, from myself, and when it's I'm working and active, like out of myself. And for me, it's a
Right.
surprise also that I'm observing what's happening, and I can switch between my body and and other state, and and then when I come back, this body is fascinating what happened, because it's new for
Right.
the
Yes.
body
Yes.
also. So I'm just staying there, wow,
Yes.
what happened. But I can consciously just switch out from this state, and then coming
Okay.
back and being here. And
Okay.
also it's happening for me,
Okay.
my family supporting me very well. They grant me in a good
Oh,
way, and
yes.
without them I could go away. and couldn't be here in a way how I'm doing it. And yeah, being it here now, I'm experiencing the two states at the same moment and the same body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to ask you whether you have this experience of being one with both, because this is what's been happening for me too. It's not separate anymore. You don't have to shift and, oh, now I'm this and I'm this. It's like whatever it is, it's all in the same, simultaneously happening. And you know what you say about the seeing, the feeling, I feel as well, and it's like this inner knowing. It's feeling, knowing, seeing, like with the mind, but not necessarily with the eyes always. Sometimes will be with the eyes, and but it's just like, it's like you let's say you in the water in the ocean, so you wet, but you wet through the whole body. It's not just feeling it outside, it's the whole ocean is moving through you. So
Yes,
you're not feeling
exactly.
like you're in the ocean. It's like you are the ocean, because it's like it's coming through, and it's like that.
And before I get used to it, if I need any information, I need to seek it outside of me. I need to read a book or see an internet or any kind of place or go to a master and make doing questions. And since now, if I need anything to know, I'll just connect and I get
Yes.
every answer what I need, and it's a huge
Yes.
huge help.
It's so wonderful. It's like, even today I had a client with the quantum healing, and she was like explaining what she was seeing. She said it's like a pyramid and another pyramid, and there's like, and one of the time, like, I haven't heard of this word, like, researching, and then it says like, oh, it's Merkaba, and I'm thinking, it's like, what? I have to kind of say, okay, let's find out more about it. So it's like all this information is flowing, just like you're saying, and
Exactly.
it's just like, where is it coming from? And it's it's
Yeah.
it's it's
And
already
it's not
here,
coming from you,
you
it's
know?
coming from, yeah,
Yes. Yes. It's like we swimming in this information, in the matrix, of it all.
exactly. Thank
Yes.
you so much, Grace, for being
Thank you
here,
so much.
and we continue. And thank you,
Thank
everybody,
you so much.
for sharing with us.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. And maybe we could put an invitation for some questions as well. So we'll be happy to address it next time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.